and you'll never settle.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Headed up to Lake Chickamauga this morning to do a little practicing for the Bassmaster Kayak Championship. It'll be Wednesday and Thursday. I'm gonna practice 2 days, today and tomorrow. See if I can figure something out. Maybe put a pattern together for the tournament. It's gotten real cold. It's down in the 20s right now. Supposed to warm up to probably 50 today, but it's going to warm up throughout the week. So I don't know if this cold weather is going to have make the bite tough or what. But I'm going to get up here and get after it and see what I can do. Guys, I should be up there in probably about an hour or so, and I'm going to put in and get out there and see what I can't put together. I'll keep you updated, so y'all stay tuned. So there I'm in is on the lower end of the lake, doing all my lake map study before I got there on Google Earth and Navionics. Decided to try this area. It had some large flats and also had some deep and shallow points, deep banks, bluff walls, had some road beds and offshore structure. That's what I try to look for when I pick an area. I fished up here last year in the BASS event, probably about 5 miles up. It's a similar area. I wanted to try this area. It was a new area. If it didn't work out, I'd probably go up to the area that I fished last year. I started out fishing shallow tapering points, shallow banks with stumps and brush piles. Previous week, they had warm weather, a lot of warm weather, but now it was 22 degrees, cold, with a strong wind. I didn't know if the fish would still be shallow or not. Knew they'd be moving up, getting ready to spawn. Just cold weather may push them back out, but I decided to fish shallow anyway. The water was super low. I believe it was lower than the average winter pool. They was working on some boat ramps, so they had it down even more, so it was super shallow. But after fishing for about 30 minutes, I caught this fish on a red Frittside 5 crankbait. It was very encouraging, especially the way he choked it. So after I catch that first fish, I continue to fish shallow, throwing the crankbait. Didn't get any more bites on it. Threw a chatterbait, spinnerbait, swim jig, threw a number of baits, and covered a lot of water fishing shallow. I didn't end up catching another fish. Matter of fact, I didn't get another bite. Very discouraging. Fished for about 5.5 hours. Didn't catch another one, so I was very disappointed. Kind of discouraged a little bit. Covered a lot of water, mostly fishing shallow. So with day one practice coming to an end, the wheels are already turning in my head. Do I come back to this spot tomorrow? Do I try a different area? If I do come back to this spot, do I just cover different water, new spots in this area? Do I try different baits? Do I fish deep? That's all playing in my mind. I do feel this area's got some big fish in it. I'm just thinking the cold weather's is affecting them. It's supposed to warm up throughout the week, so I think these fish will bite as the weather warms up throughout the week. So with the start of day 2 practice, it starts out cold, still down in the high 20s, but it's supposed to warm up a lot quicker than it did the previous day. So only having 2 days of practice, I decided to come back to the same area. I started off shallow again in some new areas. Fished for about 2 hours, didn't get any bites. So I decided to fish some steep steeper rocky banks that drop off pretty deep, and catch my first fish on a drop shot. Not very big. After the first day, I'll take any bites I can get. There he is, small largemouth. Got him on the drop shot. Fishing this steep rocky bank. He's small, but first fish of the day. Throwing on that green pumpkin drop shot. So I got hung up with my drop shot and broke it off. Decided to tie on a shaky head, and that's what I'd use the rest of the day. Tiny little largemouth, got him on the shaky head. Number two, they're both small, but trying to figure something out. I've been fishing shallow for a while. Started fishing this bluff wall with a shaky head. Hopefully I can put something together. Hopefully I can get a few fish off of it. Struggling. After catching them two fish on a drop shot and shaky head, I decided to start running them deep banks. There's a ton more in the area, so I start hitting all the deep rocky banks with sharp drops. Finally start putting something together. They're not very big. They're not very big fish, but I am catching a few. Another small one. On the shaky head. Green pumpkin. On the shaky head, up through throwing a jig and a crankbait. Jig, crankbait, spinnerbait, chatterbait, different colors. Can't get a bite on anything. Caught a decent one yesterday on a red crankbait, but I hadn't had a bite since on it. Shaky head. He's about like him other ones. He'll measure, but barely. He's no size to it. So with day two practice coming to an end, I did manage to catch a small limit, no big fish. All of them came on the deep banks with the sharp drops, all on a shaky head. That's the only thing I could get bid on. So practice is over and the tournament starts tomorrow. Should have come back here for day one of the tournament and go straight to the deep banks, throw a shaky head. There's a ton more areas like this where I'm fishing. Should I just cover a lot of deep banks with a shaky head, hopefully run into some bigger fish, or should I go somewhere else for tournament day? So y'all stay tuned for tournament days 1 and 2 coming up in my next video. Thanks for watching.